Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV, and we're today going to discuss the cultural nationalism and minorities in India, and that is Bharat. So just you see changing. If you go through the constitutions and the roots of the constitution, India name was temporarily given by the makers of the constitution. If you know or don't know, but that should be just deleted from that our constitution, but not done today till today. That should be. So now I we can say that we credit by our prime minister. Now in you see that in plain, not India, only Bharat. Now trying to just propagate. That time actually India name was not India name so popular. Bharat was not. So that's what two names were kept. So no confusion at all. That should be. But cultural nationalism, as we know it, how just the already pursued by all, is a form of nationalism in which the nation is defined by a shared culture. It focuses on national identity shaped by our cultural tradition. In the Indian context, the reference of cultural nationalism is the rife and frequently, which has been seen in the colonial and post-colonial times, especially employed by, it has been said, the Hindu nationalists during the freedom movement against the British. And now till so many books has been written, so many research has been done, that currently the Hindu forces and we can say the who are follower, the Hindu follower, already effectively and efficiently have been using and trying to propagate the Hindu national cultural this narrative, and should be just to unseat the secular forces. And that should be whatever they have tried to make the mockery of the democracy of the country and silencing their critics. That's where that's why that's the reason we have been doing it. That should be how the wrong history had been written and tried to propagate till today. And 19.3% minorities, according to government data, living in India. That was a 2 point something at the time of the separation when Pakistan was made. And if you see the who are the minorities, the Sikhs, Muslims, Christians, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, and Jains. Jain was included in 2030 by the Congress, but Jain community said we're not the minorities, whatever the Congress is trying to be implicate us. And the socio-economic status of minorities is a very just different one. Urban areas in decline, and so that 2004 to 5 to 9 to 10, and those corresponding Christians saw an improvement during the period, and the household size of both rural and urban areas, the Muslims are higher than those of other religious groups, and the average household size was the lowest among the Christians. Household size in rural areas were higher than the urban areas. This is the data, understand. This is long data. We can read it, how the capita per expenditure, how the economics is going on, and how the Sikhs is living the very peacefully, only just trying to depict and trying to define the Muslim communities only minorities in India and Bharat. But we can see there's the Sikhs, the major minorities, but you only hue and cry from the Muslim. Why and what for? If you see the cultural communal violence between Hindus and Muslims, always shocked India. But who initiated it? How it was initiated? So the emerging cultural nationalistic hegemony in India plays an important role in this. So they are saying, they are claiming, but who are the person who are just trying to cross the civilization? There are so many issues here. We have the esteemed panelist Anita Chaudhary from India, and she's a senior journalist, and Sudh Kumarji, and just analyst, and also has genuine background, so we can just take the both flavor of the right and left. and how the left thinks, how the right should be thinking, and Vandana Jinganji, senior journalist, and we can say Hindu nationalist from the Chicago, America. So I'll take from the Subodh Kumarji how just unmute yourself and how you just you analyze the cultural nationalism and minorities in India and how they are. We have you have been doing so many experiment with the minorities, especially Muslims, with your works and literary work. Please.
Look, the India is a pluralistic country, and it has been a pluralistic country. It's a welcome all the genesis of the religion, the Hindu religion, the Sanatan Dharma, which will welcome all the religion, because there was no fixed rule, and and the ancient, so the nothing was documented. This is in a primary nature, so it's incorporated even the ethos of the Jainism also, the Buddhism also, right? And although the Charvak Rishi was also the considered to be a Rishi, even he was the atheist. So this is a large heart of the Hindu religion, the Sanatan. The concept of the Hindu was introduced by the Britishers because they wanted to bring the Christianity as a part of the religion. Then the Islam, so said they declared that the Hindu is also the form of the religion. That was like but it's a more geographical than the nationalistic. Culturally, traditionally, we have our own tradition, own culture. Some of the people, they converted into that and joined the semantic religion. This is a very unfortunate. They joined a very radical semantic religion called Islam, and it was an imposed convergence because it was not smooth transactions. If it had been the smooth transactions, then they would have incorporated the way the Buddha chosen the middle path. Jainism, they accepted, imbibed this one. So in this situation, when the India got the independence, the first things which the Congress party inherited the power. So first the Congress, what they didn't, after the Noy Khali riots, they start appeasing the minorities, and minorities means they have started depending on the three times of the votes. I tell you the biggest fact. During the freedom struggle, you cannot find the Nehru's name was indicated by Pandit Nehru. But after the independence, all of a sudden, the Jawaharlal Nehru turned out to be the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. One thing very, very clear, that I need a vote from my own community, I need a vote from the Muslims, and I need a vote from the Dalit. These are the three agendas. On basis of that, they depended on so much that the whole story and the history ended in the 1991, when the Mandal Commission and the whole churning of the political. It started in the 1977. This is it. In this is the most unfortunate. Till today, I am feeling ashamed for this country, that I am a citizen of this country. The Jewish community. Jewish community, that you have seen in film, that David is a Jewish, Nadira was a Jewish, lot of Jewish, even the Gandhi's personal physician was a Jews, right? Jews played the important role in India's freedom struggle. The man who defeated the Pakistan in the 1971 war, it was led by the Jewish, Jacob, right? And the Indian army was led by the general was Manek Shah, he was in a Parsi, right? So this is the contribution. But till today, this Congress party never considered the Jewish is a minority in India. Jewish is till today is not a minority in India, and in India, the Jewish migrated from Iran, and Jewish migrated from the Israel, and the same Jewish community, they ran away from this country, and today you have the only 4,000 Jews in India. The oldest synagogue in India, in the Jewish community, is existed in Matangcheri in Kerala, but the Congress party never paid any attentions to make them the minorities. They are very rich. They don't need your reservation and something like that. But they never offered, you are also the minority, and they accepted all the nonsense. Hindu code bill, but Hindu code bill is just replications of the Christian's code bill. The concept of the marriage, concept of the inheritance property, concept of the divorce, it has been picked up from the Christian community. Even in the parliament also, the some some the members of parliament said ki Nehru ji, in the name of the modernization you are opting the Christianity, but he didn't have a dare to talk about no the any
You're
minor.
talking about Nehru. You're talking about Nehru.
No,
I'll
I
check.
it's a start the legacy from there only.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I just talking.
Today,
I just welcome
I'll tell
welcome
you.
Alok
Just
Laharji from his state.
I'm coming. No, no, coming to the point.
Yeah.
Recently, in 2014, 30th January 2014, they declared the Jain is in a minority. I don't know for what. All of a sudden, they woke up
Well,
and they said that
I'll share the
Jain is in
politics of that. How and why just 4% the
right.
Jain community in India? Why they just added the minority? That is different politics by the Congress just played.
Forget about that. Jews are only 4,000 in India.
So,
4,000. You can your computer will fail
Kumarji.
to find the
Subodh
percentage.
Kumarji. I'll take Anita ji. Anita ji, this is talking about the Nehru and the first Indian Prime Minister crafted the so-called, I'm saying so-called secularism to assure the equal play of all religions. But he never gave the weightages and just how the, I think, I, you can say the whatever I think it is should be given to Hindu in another way, but always advocating and supported the Muslim and Islam, and always try to substitute by secularism. But Hindu was made. Nehru reasoned the religion should be diverse from politics. Once he is saying religion should be diverse from the politics, other way he was just trying to propagate and supported the other way, and trying to propagate the RSS, BJP, and VHP. That time VHP is not there. BJP born in 80, but then RSS and VHP are all there. So they are trying to be already they are the fanatic and the fascist. How do you analyze it now in the present circumstances? Anita?
Yeah, yeah. There is something went wrong with my phone, so I'm just trying to resolve it. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, please. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Nehru. Either it's Nehru or Gandhi. You have just mentioned in your earlier starting version that when the partition has done on that time, only 2 point something, some percent of Muslim was in India, and now what is the situation?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what was the vision of Nehru? He was praising 2.1%, 2.5%, and he was ignoring 96%, 99% on that time also. So this was the vision of, and this was the policy of Nehru. Why policy Nehru was doing this? Nehru was the most selfish prime minister of this country. The first independent prime minister who was too much of selfish that he has ignored all the benefits of India. Either it will come to the China issue or Pakistan issue or Hindu Musliman issue. He has done the same wrong thing which we are bearing till date. So we should not talk about Nehru now. We should talk about the present government now. What is the role of present government to unite India? From the start of the day when we have got independent, our one and only one policy was to please Muslims of this country, not minority. Please mind it. I'm not. You have given the caption that minorities, cultural, national, and minorities. This is not the India. Never play the basic rules and policies of India is not in favor of the minorities. It is in favor of the Muslims only, to please them. And why they do this? Because Nehru was so inclined towards the Western culture and other countries' culture. So he was in inferiority complex. He was feeling that being an Hindu, I may is not will not recognized by the world, and he was so in pretty situation that he has put the whole country in pathetic situation. So, but we are saying we are visualizing in today's world that we have a government, we have policies, we have a culture, and we have a society also that are believing in the culture, custom of India, and that is only called nationalism. Because today's speech of Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi, he has he has
In Kedarnath.
appealed with the youth also. He has appealed the youth also that please respect your ethics and your previous ancestors. Then only
Cultures and
the
beliefs
culture will enhance, and then
in
only the country will grow. So these are the policies which we have to follow to unite the country, and whatever the minority majority policies and politics, we should avoid that, we should
Okay.
condemn that, and we should discard that. There is no need of this kind of politics.
Thank you, Anitaji. Vandana ji, as just Anitaji said and Sumodji said, that the politics of the division, the votes, and politics to appeasement to one religion or one caste, do we think this should be this is a good? This is a good for any developing countries like India, that is Bharat.
नमस्कार सबसे पहले दीपावली की शुभकामनाएं सबको
Yes, okay.
yeah this Deepavali I in the morning when I woke up this morning before even I got your message there is a saying because we are seeing how the Deepavali has been celebrated in the Western world. You know, I woke up because we've been instrumenting. So what thought came in? There is a saying called trust thyself. The world will trust you. I am seeing it right there. I'm seeing it right there. We used to be quiet. We never used to demand. You cannot, sitting in India, imagine, sitting in Bharat, you cannot imagine what kind of Deepavali has been celebrated in the Western world. So that is what, when we Hindu, October, as we celebrated Hindu Heritage Month, you have done a lot of stories, bless you. So just see that now, city of Chicago, city of New York, all these cities are doing it. Fireworks, they are celebrating it. So that comes trust thyself. So now it is the community, my sisters and brothers living in Bharat has a responsibility to take charge of their culture, Sanskriti, and their religion, and to speak it out. Now is a time for us to demand, because enough is enough. And this is a game play which has been played by all the political parties for their benefits. Let this be. Because we are seeing it, what has happened 2 years before. Ram is not yours. Ram is in Astha. Ram is in Kankan. When we see that Ayodhya, that, you know, when world takes pride in it, when President Trump can light a diya in his Oval Office, when Justin Trudeau can do it, and means what is it? Like you are going to say, like again, somebody can befit, means, you know, their befitting reply may be, oh, they are playing politics. It is now. It is not politics. Let me be, because if this is a politics, so they are correcting themselves, because earlier they were failed, to be honest, but now they have realized it. So now is the time we are seeing it. Tumhara Kejriwal, he is going to Ayodhya. What he used to talk about before, I mean, like, so people have to wake up.
Not going to Ayodhya, Vandana ji. Vandana ji, he is saying in his advertisement first time in his life.
But free karega. Free. But this free thing has to.
On the eve of Diwali.
No, but people have to refuse this free thing, because the Delhi is already suffering with this freebies. But then there is a reform. That is what, when we're saying things do get out of, when we're talking about cultural nationalism, because, and the minorities, why this appeasement? On whose cost? Somebody somewhere is paying. All these politicians, those who are getting their member of parliaments or the ministers, they are getting their perks and salaries. Is it going from them? It's going from all the three of you, those who are sitting upstairs. Kumar Rakeshji, Anita ji, Subodh ji, you guys are those who are the taxpayers. They are paying for it. So they have to raise the voice. My taxes should not be. I have just showed you one video. I'm just saying, we do have a pathway behind my house. We call it walking trail. There was a means, like, you know, a very uneven road. Me and my father rolled over when I was taking him for a walk. I just complained. Within 3 weeks of time, they came and they built the whole road. So my tax has been used right there. Don't you feel? Because this is a time for the people to waken up in a moment. They have to create this kind of movement, not to burn the buses, not to burn the trains, but they have to demand. and
Yeah,
people power is the biggest power. People's
yeah,
power is the biggest power. We are not going to say no for a no. We take pride in the Sanskriti of Bharat. We take pride in the Sanskriti and the culture and the heritage of ours, the country that we came from.
yeah,
So it is
yeah,
a time for the true leadership. If
yeah.
Bharat really wants to be the world guru, to be honest, they have to define, clarify.
Vandana ji, we have now true leadership. And just you have seen today about the Prime Minister in Kedarnath Dham. This is the fourth visit of Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi. And he's talked about the culture, Hindu ethos, and just to appeal to the youth. As Anita ji also mentioned, the 400 crore, the all works is going to be done now, and most of the completed. And he just unveiled the statue of Adi Shankaracharya.
He
So
walks
just
his talks. That's what it is. And that is the way it should be.
yeah.
True
So
leadership.
I believe in the workship. So Alok ji, I'll come to Alok ji and just a break, and after break I'll come to Alok ji. Welcome after the break. And just we are discussing about just how the minorities and cultural nationalism in India. Alok ji, I just you are smiling. I think you can understand the subject. There's a 2% here background of their news, so I am going to be now just to understand how just you actually whatever new books has been written, I have been writing now. They're all just trying to focus the RSS, BJP, and others family are trying to focus on the trying to impose the Sangh family is trying to emphasize that empowering the Hindus and affirming Hindu identity. And even though the Sangh family claims to speak to all Hindus and characterizes the platform the Hindu its goal and redemptions and diverse sharply from the traditional Hindu ideas, despite the theoretical variation, redefining the meaning of Hindu. Whatever the some writers claim, and the power came 99 after the 2014, and last 7 years, they're trying to propagate. But what is unity in diversity? It's our culture. And whatever I think the BJP and the Sangha family is doing, just to oneness. We are one, apart from the all cultures in India. This if you see the culture of Belgium, the small country of 6 crore population, but on a platform I have seen Brussels. They are not compromised the one name at least for discussion and platform. But we are the, as for record 2011, 130 crore population. So how just you analyze the cultural nationalism and minorities, what you are trying to only propagate the lies?
Good evening, Kumar Rakesh and fellow panelists and viewers. As Vandaji said, Shubh Deepavali to each one and everyone. And I'd like to start with where she's left. Like you can't sitting in India, people who cannot even, fire crackers on their own festival. Let me tell you that 25 years I've been living in Spain. The Prime Minister of Spain, for the first time in the history of, Indo-Spanish relationship, he has wished the Hindus and people of India on Diwali. So I think, I don't know if you guys realize what is happening, but sitting outside, we are realizing that the whole paradigm shift is there. And that paradigm shift has not, come 75 years ago. Had it happened then we would have given the, credit to the right people. This paradigm shift has happened in the last 7 years. So we'll have to give the credit to the right person here. Now the question why I was smiling. I was smiling at your break, which was doing, the reverse countdown. And I think the reverse countdown has started. Why has it started? Because when I was a young boy, I was told this tale about a father. He called his sons and he said, "There is a stick for you, break it." And the son broke it. Then he called the second son and he broke the stick. Then he said, "Now you put all the sticks together and try breaking it. You can't." So we have been criticizing Nehru. He had an agenda. He wanted to win elections. He became the prime minister without, even fighting the elections.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate that after the division of our country into Pakistan and India, everybody thought that Muslim League was for the Muslims, and by default, Indian National Congress was the Hindus. On top of it, like Subodhji mentioned, he said he put the title of Pandit Nehru to him. So like, oh, he's a Brahmin, he'll look after the rest of the, like the Sikhs who were considered Sardars. So Brahmins were also considered the leader of the rest. Okay, and the same thing happened. The other person calls himself a Mahatma. He did not call himself an Imam or something like this. He called himself, or he got himself called, Rabindranath Tagore called him Mahatma. He called him like that. And people thought that Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Nehru would be leading the Hindus. But unfortunately, nothing like that happened. I'm not going to talk about their achievements. If you're the first prime minister and you've, been at the head of a movement, you get the credit of getting the freedom to India. There were so many freedom fighters, but that kept aside for a minute. Now, all the Hindus thought that we have a leader in them. And what was unfortunate was that they were not working for the majority. India is the only place in the world which I know of where the majority have to keep go begging, to the politicians or our leaders to have something when they are not even controlling their own temples. Their own sites of worship are controlled by government of India. I, as a devout Hindu, go and give, donations to my temple, but I don't know where this money is going to be used. But the similar thing is not happening with minority religions. For example, the Waqf board was formed, and who formed it? It was not the Muslim ulemas or whoever. Okay. Later on, the Sikh took the step and they made Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee. So they are at least controlling not the national Gurudwaras. They are at least controlling a section of the Gurudwaras. Delhi probably is out of this. But there is nothing like that done for the Hindu temples. So if the situation of the Hindu temples is like this, and if their land is being robbed and looted by other and nothing is happening, it could be a Chudbaiya Neta in that area, or it could be a big political party. Now what has happened? We go back to the legend again. We were, divided in the name of caste, in the name of region. Then we were talking about, various subcaste and everything. But then one phenomena happened. I am not going to say RSS did this or BJP did this or anything. No. This did not. This is the realization of the social media which connected people of of India, and especially the Hindus. They got to know of the atrocities which are happening throughout India, and there was no hearing. There is still, some pockets where this is not happening. And the one word which is going to make that change is unity. If the Hindus of the world unite, we are a force. What happens? Why in West Bengal, whatever has happened, it is because of the communist influence, till now the Hindus are not united. You can talk about Hindus or you can talk about the Hindutva. The only one uniting factor, we always talk about.
Alokji, we are discussing that.
We talk about unity in diversity. The only one thread which puts us all together is Hindu religion.
Yeah.
And there is no other uniting factor. We have different languages, we have different caste, creed, color, whatever. So if we don't preserve this, if you want a united India, it has to be under this name. And fortunately, the Hindus are uniting not only in India, all over the world. And if we stand united, we are the third largest religion in the world. And if we can control our funds, because we don't have a hierarchy, so maybe RSS will come in. They don't know who to blame. So right now, RSS is in the forefront, but RSS is not the ultimate representative of Hindus. Hindus themselves are the ultimate representative. There is one party which is encashing this unity of the Hindus, which is BJP. Why didn't the others do it? They didn't do it. They lost the opportunity. So now they have the opportunities, and Hindus have to stand on their own, irrespective of whatever the political parties there. BJP
Okay.
is doing it. Fantastic. We are thankful to them, and we are very much.
I'll take from the your question the why the BJP and VHP and RSS taking the all the cues for the Hindus, and so many said Hindus will be self discharge themselves, and just with start with their own. I'll take the Subodhji and Anita ji on that, and then Vandana ji. Subodhji.
Yes, first of all, no, Alok ji, I have the reservation about your statement that the communist influence in the West Bengal. Communists they don't get the vote from the Muslims. For your kind information, for the 1952 till today, if the Muslim had voted in West Bengal to the CPM would have been in power. They give the vote under the certain compulsions if they don't have the choice. Recently, the Muslim League they made a comment. Achyutanandan in assembly, he said the love jihad. The first time the word love jihad was used by the official chief minister Achyutanandan in assembly, and they raised the 100 questions in assembly. My question is, this is because the communists are basically atheist, and secondly, I correct you, the Hindu population is number one. The way the world population is calculated in the world, they calculated the Christian religion, the Muslim, and they put aside the Buddhist. So if you take the whole China population and India population, it's the number one. China has not
that may be the correct Subodhji.
Yeah.
It is a new narratives either played by the Wikipedia or other social media platform just to always it is third largest. Why third one? And what for?
Why third one? Why? No. In your religion, you add the Shia and Sunni together. You add the Catholic and Protestant together. Why not the Buddhist and Hindu together?
Buddhist, Sikhs and other Hindus are there.
Then you take the 180 crores from the China, and then the 130 crores from the India. Even the China didn't dare to break the statue of the Buddhist.
So, Anita ji, how just Alok ji say, then I'll check the Vandana ji. How just say BJP and VHP should not take the all guarantee just for the Hindus they are doing. Hindus should be self. Just sustain with their politics and the policies for the advocacy of Hindu.
I'm very much agree with Alok ji because the RSS, BJP or VHP they are not the only the responsible, or they have not taken the charge of to protect Hindu or Hinduism or Sanatanis. The Sanatanis itself has to come out. They should be vocal. They should understand their right in this country. They should feel scary that the kind of increase in the other side population and their aggression, it might be a danger for them after 20 years. You will see they can see the situation like Afghanistan in India also. So they should come out. They should get united, and they should follow their own right and own religion as per given in the constitution also. Constitution doesn't give liberty to minorities, and it has not restricted the majority, but it is politician or Hindu itself, because Hindu after independence, Hindu was feeling shy to recall themselves or to recognize themselves as a Hindu. They feel that other side will feel bad. We should take care of their sentiment. We should be we should not get intolerant. We should respect them, and we should respect to use the word we should be careful to use the word Musalman. Before 2014, have you heard द मुसलमान और मुस्लिम समुदाय वर्ड एक खास समुदाय, मुस्लिम समुदाय वर्ड ऑन मीडिया ऑल्सो, हिंदुओं ने ऐसा किया, हिंदुओं ने वैसा किया और एक खास समुदाय को प्रताड़ित किया। मुसलमान वो विक्टिम होते थे, दे वर द विक्टिम ऑन दैट टाइम, और लेकिन दे वर नॉट कॉल्ड एज मुस्लिम समुदाय, दे एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन हैज थ्रेटन बाय द हिंदू.
That is the media. That was the
On that time also Hindus had got in it united, and we vocal on that time also. So if they have played that kind of role earlier, so the situation should not be like this as present it is, because we have witnessing the situation like Shaheen Bagh, Delhi Danga 2020. Why it's coming out? Because the Muslims are day by day they are getting more strengthened, more united, and more vocal, more powerful. So we should be careful about our rights, and we should feel that if we will not come out in a united way, and we will not be vocal, so we have to face that kind of situation which we have faced in one part of the Delhi, that is called the Delhi Danga 2020 after Shaheen Bagh.
Okay.
Just 1 second, 1 second. I'll just add to this, everybody to speak on that. What is the reasons to development of the Islam? I have a comparative religion I studied. The only thing is the freedom of the marriage and freedom of the divorce. Check out. Implement the uniform civil code. Nobody will turn out to become a Muslim. That's the only thing. The freedom, anytime night, divorce, and anytime marriage, polygamy, char bibiyan. So this is the privilege, and you curtail this privilege.
Subodh not marriage. Kabul hai. Bas ho gaya.
Okay. No. That's okay issues, but I'm come to Vandana ji. Just you had your mention. The nation is born in culture, as we know, and the nationalism are the cultural artifacts around which the imagination, whatever. So, in case of Hindu, the history, religion, myths, legends evolve, such as the case of the Hindu nationalism. As some experts says, the Hindu nationalism is ideological in combination of religion and nationalism. But here, it's a form of cultural nationalism, and state supremacy as advocate Hinduism. But Ernest Gallner conveys the idea nationalism is not the awakening of nations to self-consciousness. It invents nations where they don't exist. In the case of Hindu nationalism, it was developed an alternative political culture as the dominant idiom of Indian politics during the independence movement. But Hindu nationalism crystallized as the ideology, rejected the non-violence and legitimate and effective. But I'm only talking about the narratives, how has been created about the Hindu, Hindustan, and all. And that narrative is going to be now off now. That is going to be replaced now. Whatever trying to make the Hindu, the militant, Hindu are like that. As Digvijay Singh, Congress leader, said, in a new Hindu terrorist, Hindu terror, new narrative that created by the Congress leader, senior Congress, Digvijay Singh. Vandanaji, how just you see, do you think the old narratives is going to be replaced and the real, whatever facts are there, people are going to accept, either they are Hindus and Muslims and whoever concerned?
I am going to say there is a saying which is called Satyamev Jayate. I'm not talking about the bloody Amir Khan show. I'm just talking about the Satyamev Jayate. Means Satya ki jeet hoti hai.
I don't know who is Amir Khan. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Very good. And good to know. So you can dig the lie for a period of time, but ultimately it is the victory of the truth. We are just celebrating Deepavali 2021, which we all know it is the victory of truth over evil. So how long you can hide, but again, it is the confidence in the mind of a puppy. It is the narrative that you have to, because when we talk about, somebody did mention, I wanted to touch that point, like Sanatanis have to come together. Let this be any political party. I'm just not going to name any party because my personal affiliation is going to be different. But when I'm talking here on a debate, I just want to say that this is the responsibility of each and every individual voter to talk to their prospective elected official who's they are going to vote for, what are you going to do for us? No freebies. I'm never interested in freebies. I'm being honest, because you have to earn. I believe in teaching fishing than giving fish, because what happens, this is what goes down the drain. So let this be like what people talk about, mandir mandir karte rahe. If they promise, they have delivered it. Why it took too long? So that is what, like, my trust got rebuilt again in them. So now, because universal civil code, population control, there are all which have been pending. There has to be time limit set. And I said there is no need to have wait for that long time. Just do it right away. Because if they have to do this Shaheen Bagh and this Kisan Morcha and Phalana Damkana, they can do it at one time ago. We don't even care about it. But this cancer, this is a disease which if you do find a tumor, they just see that it should be eradicated. It should not be allowed to grow over a period of time. Like we saw the farmers' protest prolonged for so long time, because it should not. You should not be worried about what they will say. Even this is a role of the ruling government also, because what about the human rights? Because human rights about the people, those who've been traveling. So when it comes, everyone has a right to take care of its own, means like take charge, and take pride in themselves. That is what I said. Trust thyself. If you trust yourself, the world will trust on you, because you're not doing anything wrong. If you say that, because just see the history of Sanatan. If we just see that, and there are comparisons. Somebody just quoted today, means they say this, so Falari ko bhi na ek Hindu festival bana do, to next year say this will also become like, oh, it is not allowed. Because so this is, do you see how much pain it caused in my mind? When it comes, you don't want to see with the both eyes. You want to see as per your convenience. You can keep one eye closed. That is not right. So if the world is awakening, because as Alok ji did mention that there is so everyone in Bharat is taking a pride how Western, and I am telling my State Department here, those who are responsible, they should have a Diwali tourism in America. They should allow people to come from India and just celebrate Diwali.
All
You are
American
commenting on
Diwali.
just how it's going in India, and just how
All American Diwali.
Yeah.
Situ secular is just trying to play with the image of the India that is Bharat. I think so, but I think
it pains me. It pains me, because we used to plan our trip coming to Bharat for Diwali.
Don't worry, Vandana ji, don't
Yesterday
worry.
I was talking. No, I'm just saying how the new generation has been impacted. I spoke to my friend. He said, "Omenika,
That's why, Vandana
we
ji,
used to
that's why.
call."
Your point
Alok
is
ji, we
valid.
used to call at a specific time. Phone laga ke, the cost used to be $4.20 per minute. Hi, patake ki awaaz suna do, please. But abhi, no, we have a silent Diwali.
No,
Come
no.
on, what's silent?
Vandana ji, just I supporting your statement and comment. That's why with the all regions, our Prime Minister of India, just when I was saying the propaganda Bharat, Narendra Bhai Modi today in Kedarnath, appeal to the all youth. Please go to the places, visit the places of historical and the religion related to religious places, to know your culture. You can understand you can read the between the lines. This is a statement, very important statement. Whatever think and analyze. So nice of you. Just
यूथ को समझ आए वो तो बड़ी बात है. हमारी जुडिशरी समझ जाए, उनको जो काम करना चाहिए वो करना चाहिए. That is what they are not doing.
Vandana ji, there are 22 reforms are pending in our country. Reforms.
Vandana ji,
Judicial reforms is also included.
Vandana ji, you mentioned the very nice things. The Machiavelli report is the same. When the Machiavelli came to India, he tried to identify the illiterate people. And they say that India does not have the illiterate people. The only thing that we have to break their morale and introduce the new language and convince them that you should be the pathetic about.
No, actually that time has gone, Subodhji. That whatever is trying to distort over the culture.
So the Vandana ji today has raised this very good issues now we can proudly say. I always say proudly that I am the culturally Hindu, but not practicing Hindu. I don't practice, but
so
that's
I
a big
think you're so honest and you accept.
Don't lie, Subodhji, ki don't practice. I have seen so many times.
No, no,
No,
no, no.
So
I'm
it's a
I'm
fashion that, oh, I'm a Hindu, but I don't practice it. You are
Anita
also the
ji,
part of that
Anita ji,
fashion.
I went.
Anita ji, who were just not for the Hindus now saying on camera, I am not the practicing, but I am thinking or like that. So you can see the sea change.
I
So
And
follow the
I just want to say, I just want to show something. The voice of that crackers in India, in our Delhi. This was the
no,
aerial
no,
view
not
of
like
Delhi
that.
yesterday.
Yeah,
So
okay. So just
so
put the
judiciary, and I am telling you, Rakesh ji, this was going on one of the journalist group. One journalist has put you, what pathetic. After the direction of the Supreme Court also, the situation of Delhi is like this yesterday. Is today's morning chit chat. The another one has said, बहुत बढ़िया किया और भी छोड़ना चाहिए था. So this is
okay.
the situation
So
in Delhi where Kejriwal's rules and judiciary gives
yeah,
all the bullshit kind
that's
of
why
directions
I
that
was
you
saying,
can do
Anita ji,
this, you have to
Anita
do
ji,
this, you have to do that, and people are not bothering. They are feeling that it's my culture and I have to follow it, so I will follow it.
yeah. Everybody should follow it. That's good. That's energized, Vandanaji. So no need for Diwali tourism America. You come just to for Ayodhya Diwali tourism in India. Always welcome. 9 lakhs, the world
we
record.
should we should we should
9
put the
lakhs
check on
years.
the Bakrid also, because chopping the meat creates a lot of methane gas.
No, that okay. That's another issue, Subodhji. Alokji, just to raise the every Hindu should be strong and is strong just to define themselves. And now the cultural nationalism and the minorities, how just to define that is Hindu in India and global is going to be strong now. This is last take, then after the wind up. And very
Okay,
brief.
first of all, I'll, Subodhi commented on what I mentioned. I never
Yeah.
said that the Muslims voted for the communists in Bengal. What the communists did, they divided Hindus. That's the reason till date they are still divided. They don't. There's some noise coming out. Then please, I request the non-speakers to please put their microphones off. Okay, now that is one thing. And second, what you were mentioning, that what was the definition of or how Hindu nationalism has been defined. Unfortunately, it was not defined by the Hindus. It was defined by certain groups to malign it. So there is nothing wrong in calling yourself a Hindu. I mean, for example, we've lost putting this tilak on the head. Okay, you have to become more modern with the society and all that. So probably the Christians, they wear a cross. So start wearing a om if you want to, at
Yeah.
least you are going to enforce your Hinduism. That's it. There was a time when I was
No, you
seeing,
don't need to show it, please. Yeah.
no, I'm too, why not? Why not? I mean, why should I
I
be
am wearing Om, Trishul as well as swastik.
very good? Right. Now, what I'm trying to say is, like Subodhji said right
And
now, that
I just
I'm
want
a
to,
Hindu,
I
but
just
I'm
want
not
to
a
hold you.
practicing
I
Hindu.
just want to hold you. We distributed here in the colleges as well as in the mandirs and temples to our youth so far 20,000 Om lockets this month of
Great.
October and now, because and they are feeling so very pride. Gore log bhi pen rahe, like my nephew's friend, he said, hey Rohan, can you ask your aunt to get me one Om this too? I said, yeah, I will mail it.
Nice one. Nice one.
So
That's
Americans
why you
always
ask
get
a
to
question to
believe.
Alokji. How is
Congratulations to
Hindu
it.
going to strong globally?
I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just coming back to this now. The definition which you're talking about. Now, Subodhji very conveniently said, I'm a Hindu, but I'm not a practicing Hindu. This is the result of the new defining. The Hindu was the moderate Hindu. The Hindu was the secular Hindu. The Hindu was this. Now, this is changing. That's the reason when you said, why are you laughing? When you put the break, it was the countdown. Now, that countdown has started. Hindu is getting more and more assertive to the extent
That's
that
why
a
today use the
leader,
unique break. That's why I use
the,
the
the,
today unique break. Yeah.
that is the reason that a leader like Modi ji, who was considered, a more staunch leader than, let's say, Bajpayee ji was, or
Yeah.
once upon a time when Advani ji was considered a more aggressive Hindu leader than Bajpayee ji,
Yeah.
Now what is happening is the Hindu community, which I'm in touch with, they feel that Modi ji is not assertive enough, and they are not looking at some other leader. They are going and looking at somebody like
Alok,
Yogi
you were
ji.
running out of time. Well, already 10 minutes late, I think. Yeah,
I'm rounding it up. So
please.
the Hindu assertiveness has to be there. I was one of them, like Subodhji, because I was under the influence of the left and the Communist Party, and I also used to say but now I'm proud to say I'm a Hindu, and there is nothing wrong in saying this. There is nothing wrong. So what is wrong? The wrong is the policy which the governments have been following, and that is the policy of appeasement. If you have to appease anybody, it has to be the majority. It can never be. I'm not saying that we should do away with the minorities, but then there are minorities like JFR, Jacob, they are the Parsis, they are the other groups. You cannot divide them. A 20%, more than 10% is not a minority. You have to take that minority tag from them, and you have to give it to the right minorities. It could be the Sikhs, it could be the Jews, it could be
Yeah.
the unfortunate part is that they don't want to be part of the minority. They say we are with the mainstream. And that is what I like about them. So that appeasement has to go. Hindu, if they stand united, they are here to conquer the world.
I
So
just want to
nice.
add, I just want to add
please.
1 second.
Please.
Modi ji is blessed to have come in the era of social media, which was not there in the time of Bajpayee ji as well as Advani ji. Thank you.
So nice. So just I only just add with on the appeasement policy. One of the minister in the Congress government, 2004 to 13, you can say, A.R. Antule. He has been dropped only one statement in which the 9 states in India is a Hindu or in minority state. So he just advocated for those Hindus who are going to minority in the concerned 8 or 9 states. On that statement, I'm just here quoting here on the public forum. I already shared his view with me. So I've been dropped from the ministry only this reason why I advocated for Hindu as a minority, either Jammu Kashmir, either northeastern state, or other way. So we can see the face of the concerned Congress party and the what opposition that, and now how his face is changing now. Congress is also tuned of the Hindutva and just going to the Shivalaya and Mahamastabhishek and all, just following BJP. So you can see the power of Hindus now, how they're going to be strong now in India and globally. So nice of you. We participate in the show.
आलोक जी के लिए एक लाइन try to understand Subodh ji's feeling because he is saying that I am practicing Hindu. I am a Hindu, but I am not practicing it. He
Okay.
just want to be the accepted in JNU culture because he is from JNU. But Subodh ji, one suggestion for you. JNU is also now believing in Hinduism. He's a right winger now. So forget about that CPI, CPM. Now only BJP.
Anuraj, don't worry. He already forget it and already forget. So now he is now. Now you're not moderating to not discussion on that. The time is going on already 40 minutes late. And next
Okay.
discussion. Thank you. So nice of you. We participate in the show. We are talking the cultural nationalism minorities and how the politics involved in that and how is to be and what is a true definition and how to be true definition will be going to the new definition way in the coming ways in the changing world. Thank you. So nice of you. Participate in the Global Governance News TV. See, share, and subscribe, and just promote the nationalist thoughts of the country for the journalism. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.